Okay, hello everyone. So, I'm going to talk about our moral obligation as teachers. Okay, let me fix that though, because that looks crazy. Anyway, um, it's come to my attention. Somebody brought it up, and of course, I've seen it myself. In fact, in the past, in smaller group settings though, I've done it myself where I've posted a screenshot of the classroom without covering my student's face. Now, most of the time I do, but there's been the occasional incidents where I didn't. And I've been doing a lot of research on this subject because other people have brought it to my attention. So, where does my information come from on this topic? Number one, I am talking to somebody who works in law in both mainland China and Taiwan. I am talking to a mainlander parent who has a child in kindergarten, and I have asked admin. Okay? It is okay to post screenshots of our class, but we have a moral obligation to protect our students' privacy. So, you need to ask permission before you post the child's photo to any form of social media. Otherwise, stick a sticker over their face and cover their name. Okay? It's very important that we are not putting our kids' photos out there. Get down. Anyway, as my child interrupts me for the bazillionth time, if you are posting to social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, of your classes, you should be you should be covering the students' faces. Now, is there a written law in China regarding this? No. Laws regarding sharing photos in social media across the world are still not really there. You know? Hey, 出去让我讲话好不好? But there is a moral obligation, and I will explain it. The first thing is, this was supplied to me by my lawyer friend. Okay? China issues draft regulations on protecting minors in cyberspace. Now, this is from 2016, and the law has not yet been finalized, but they are working on it. And we need to remember that the parents of our students, no matter what company you are working for, if your company is based in China, or if you are in brick and mortar in China, they cannot access the same social media that we can. You know? There is a ban on Western social media throughout the mainland. In order to see Facebook or Instagram or anything else, the parents need to have a VPN. And to get a VPN within China is extremely difficult and expensive. Those who have traveled abroad can get them while they're abroad, some free ones even, but in the mainland, they can't. So if you are posting stuff, they don't even get the chance to see it and say, hey, don't do that. Okay? Think of yourself. Do you have a child, a niece, or nephew? Do you have a grandchild? Do you have a cousin, a young cousin? Would you want their teacher taking photos of them and posting it to social media? Think how many perverts are out there. Think how many pedophiles are out there. There is actually, I recently got a message from another teacher about a guy who was a registered sex offender, a registered pedophile, who was working for a big online company and got fired when it was discovered. And it was basically told, hey, maybe get this to the admin so they know not to hire this guy kind of post to me. And there was a picture of him and his name and everything. But that means these guys are out there. And if you're posting in the hired online groups, same thing. They could be in there. Some of those Facebook groups about getting online jobs have thousands upon thousands of members. Some of them even have over 10,000. You can't police every single member in a group. So it's important that you are covering their photos. Personally, I have a Facebook album that only my friends can see. And every single picture in that album, I have covered the photos of my students. Only my face is shown. Okay? I can actually show you that. I can go to my Facebook and go to my profile, scroll down to my albums. Where is it? Where's photos? There it is. Facebook has changed its format. Go to my Palfish album, which is titled Teaching at Palfish. And there we go. You see, aside from my own photo with my kid, the photos are covered. This photo album is also only available to my friends. It's not public. It's only available to my friends. Okay? Now, there have been times where I've been advertising the company to possible prospective teachers, and they've been in smaller groups, not the hired ESL groups. They've been in like a smaller, more familiar group with me, and I have actually posted the face, but in the future, I will not be doing that. And if I see my old posts, I will be taking them down. You know, I've been doing enough research to know that we need to cover the faces, okay? So I can go back to that article and read some of the details. My lawyer friend in China, well, it's more of an acquaintance, has given me this about the privacy. So China's top internet regulator, the Cyberspace Administration of China, continues to show interest in setting more stringent rules governing the protection of minors in the context of online activities and data privacy. Okay? The draft regulations are intended to apply to minors, but do not incorporate a specific definition of the term. So that means we don't know the age settings yet. Most likely, definitely under the age of 18. It's likely to apply. Oh, they're not necessarily to under the age of 18, but definitely to the under the age of 13. Those collecting and using minors' personal information must post a prominent warning identifying the source content and use any such information collected, as well as obtain the consent of the minor or his or her guardian. Special policies will be formulated to govern the collection and use of minors' personal information to strengthen protection. Minors and guardians have the right to require internet contact providers to delete or block a minor's personal information. The draft regulations call for government authorities to formulate policies encouraging the development, manufacture, and promotion of software aimed at protecting minors online. Schools, libraries, cultural centers, and youth centers are also required to install software to protect minors from accessing unlawful or inappropriate content, on and on. So now let's go into what my friend, who's a parent in mainland China, has said. Her daughter goes to a kindergarten, and the kindergarten takes photos of the kids, and they send them to the parents. But they have said that they have required, it's a regulation at the school, that parents cannot publicly share photos of the kids in the school uniforms. Okay? Any kids, their own kids, their friends, the friends of their kids, anything. They cannot share these photos publicly if the kids are in a school uniform. Now, that doesn't say anything about sharing when they're going on an outing and they're in regular clothes, but the school can't police everything, you know? So right now they're policing anything in uniforms. So if your child is in a uniform, you're not allowed to post it to social media. Okay? They're very protective of, and I can understand that, because if you're posting a picture of a school uniform that has a marker, like my son's school uniform has right on the chest there, it says the name of the school. If you're posting the name of the uniform, that means that these bad people out there can look up the school, go to the school, and grab your kid, you know? So there's a reason for it. As teachers, it is our moral obligation, no matter if you're working in brick and mortar or if you're working online, to protect our students' identities, okay? So I hope that you all can take this to heart, and I hope that you all can, in the future, even if you've done it in the past like me, but in the future, make sure to cover your students' faces and protect their identities, okay? Even admin has said you should be asking permission before posting to social media. They're not going to block you from posting it. There's nothing against it, but you should be getting permission first. Okay? So, have a good day, and remember to protect your students' privacy. Bye-bye.